Hello, Schmoville. Well, it is a sequel to the hit movie 1996 Independence Day. Mark is a huge fan of the original. I recently watched the original and really appreciated it for the fun popcorn flick that it was.
Good.
And I was also excited to go into this one hoping just for some fun, schlocky, fun movie, dopey popcorn movie. That's what I was hoping to get.
Yep.
And I can tell you this, didn't get it. This movie sucks shit.
Christian, I don't care what the critics are saying because I will not go quietly into the night. I will stand up in one voice and say, today I declare my Independence Day from this franchise,
So
which
bad,
went
right?
so off the rails with one of the worst sequels, one of the worst films I have yet to experience in my young life. This movie is pee.
I will say that it is definitely the champion. It is the leading contender as the #1 worst movie of the year.
Certainly. Congratulations. We hope you're happy.
We have somebody here who wants to talk to you
You
guys.
suck.
Hey guys, look at me. I really liked the first one, so I did my own fan film. Does it make any sense? Probably not, but I'm the cartoon cat. Fuck.
That is exactly who wrote this movie. One of many writers. There's a bunch of writers on this movie. There's a lot of hands in this kitchen, and it's a kitchen that should be burned to the ground and never spoke of again. I mean, the movie starts out where it does take place 20 years after the first Independence Day. I'm trying to. And then you have all this technology that we have gleaned from the aliens' original visit. So we have some cool hovercrafts. We're hanging out on the moon. Liam Neeson's a pilot. Not Liam. Liam Hemsworth is a pilot. It would have been a lot better. So you have all these characteristics of humanity that has improved in the last couple decades since we first met our alien friends, and now they're back and they're pissed and they have a spaceship that is as big as the United States of America.
Just stop talking about it. What I will tell you about, let's start with the acting here. The acting is so bad.
Mailed in.
All the way. It's not even mailed in.
It's mailed in.
The dialogue in the script is so horrendous, and that's why the cartoon cat definitely wrote it. I mean, it's really bad stuff that you would find on a crappy B movie. That's the kind of dialogue. The actual acting, it's like before the Sci-Fi Channel had Battlestar Galactica, and it just started putting out all these kind of crappy shows. It seems like it would have fit in perfect there. I mean, some of the stuff that's happening, and the futuristic stuff that you're talking about, I thought just sucked me out of the world completely, because the first one, that even though it's super campy and over the top, I still was connected to the characters, and I was connected to it because I felt like, oh, you know, what if the aliens came down over the White House and over, you know, New York and over all these different parts of the world? I felt it. This world was some weird dystopian future that I just didn't really even know. I didn't understand it, and I understand that things happened in the past movie, but nothing felt like a real world. It felt like a CGI cartoon world.
It felt like at alternate times they were trying to sell toys, or they were trying to launch an entire expanded universe of Independence Day, which, look, as much as I love the first one, nobody's really asking for. We just want to go have a nice, fun adventure with this world, and man, did they blow it big time. The acting is either mailed in, yes, I'm looking at you, Jeff Goldblum, or it's so crazy over the top. I'm sorry, Brett Spiner, that I cannot get into any of the characters that I see in here. Everybody has nothing to do, even the great Bill Pullman. It's just like there's nothing for anyone to have fun with. I love the first Independence Day. Why? Because it's a lot of fun. All the fun gets absorbed out of this movie like an alien came down with a giant organ.
They try, but it misses on all levels. There were attempts at comedy in the first one that not everyone liked. Randy Quaid, I didn't like that, but there are other people who really enjoyed the Randy Quaid storyline, and it worked for what they were doing there. There was other parts of comedy that we all enjoyed with Will Smith and Goldblum. You mentioned Goldblum mailing it in. I felt that this was he didn't feel like David in this movie. He felt like Jeff Goldblum, just walking around. And I was talking to Perry about it also. It felt like he was playing Jeff Goldblum meets his character from Jurassic Park. It didn't feel like David. I love seeing Judd Hirsch back, but the side story with him was awful. Every attempt at comedy from side characters, I think Liam Hemsworth
from anyone,
but there's some weird storyline with a what is it? A warlord and some.
I forgot about that, and I saw the movie last night. There's so many forgettable aspects of this movie. There's so many terrible aspects of this movie. Nothing is redeemable. No one is redeemable. No one is safe from the horror that is the terrible movie Independence Day Resurgence. There's humor in here that Michael Bay would be like, I can't put that in my movie.
This movie made Michael Bay look like Kubrick. I was sitting next to Sasha.
And George Carlin.
I turned next to Sasha during the middle of the movie, and I said, do me a favor, just beat me to death with my water bottle.
Yeah.
I just wanted this movie to be over. It was painful. It was 2 hours and 15 minutes or whatever it was. It was way too long.
Gets worse, too.
It just wasn't enjoyable.
Yep.
Like, I looked over at you because normally you're like my test. Because sometimes I find myself getting a little too, so maybe I'm a little, maybe I'm just reading too much into this and I'm trying to look at this movie more as it should be. And you look pain.
I was not happy during the duration of this movie. I don't think you will be either. To paraphrase Randy Quaid from the first Independence Day, "Hi boys, I'm not back and I'm never coming back." Independence Day, I still love the first one. This new one is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I'm going to go 0.5 out of 5 Schmoes. It sucks. It's my worst movie of the year so far. You blew it.
I'll push. I'll go a little higher. I'll go 1 out of 5, but I'll push in the fact that this is the worst movie of the year for sure.
Why does he get a whole Schmo from you?
I think he gets a whole Schmo because I think Bill Pullman was trying, and I think Bill Pullman was given something to do. By the way, I think originally I was asking why Mae Whitman didn't come back. I understand completely.
I understand why Will Smith looked at this and was like, "No, thanks."
That makes more sense to me. But Mae Whitman, by the way, who was, I think there were tweets like, "How come she wasn't asked?" Be glad you weren't asked to do this movie. Go do the Duff too. Don't worry about this crap box because it doesn't need to go anywhere. It should just live in the memory box. Nothing. I didn't care about anything. In the first movie, I was invested in the characters. Watching it again 2 weeks ago, I was invested in the characters. I was invested in no one. There was nothing. It's when everyone was really such bad writing. The writing was.
I have a request. I have a request.
God, the writing was bad.
Can we stop talking about this movie?
Yeah, okay.
It's really giving me a headache.
It stinks.
Okay, kids, well, click either one of our heads. That's Christian. I'm Mark. Subscribe to this channel. Never miss another movie review, another list. Some cool stuff ever again.
Well, speaking of cool stuff, right over there, that's something
right
cool.
Here.
What is that? You got to click and find out. Right over here, right there, Mark, what's that?
That's a movie review.
And there is our live show that we do every Thursday. All you got to do is click on one of those wonderful videos, go down the rabbit hole, check out Schmoes Now.
Or you can click our heads, like I said.